मम शत्रु विनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते। सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्र मूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। ओम जय शिव ओंकारा स्वामी हर शिव ओंकारा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव हर गंगेधारा। ओम हर 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 महादेव। ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा हर गंगेधारा। ओम हर 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 महादेव। एकानंद चतुरानंद पंचानंद राजे शिव पंचानंद राजे हंसासन गरुड़ासन हंसासन गरुड़ासन वृषभासन साजे। ओम हर 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 महादेव। दो भुज चार चतुर्भुज दस भुज शोभे शिव दस भुज शोभे। तीनों रूप निरखता तीनों रूप निरखता त्रिभुवन जन शोभे। ओम हर 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 महादेव। माला बनमाला मुंडमाला धारी शिवा मुंद्रमाला धारी चंदन मृग मरसूखे चंदन मृग मधुसूखे पानी शशि धारी। ओम हर 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 महादेव। श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बागंबर अंगे शिवा बागंबर अंगे सनिकारिक प्रभुकारिक संसारिक प्रभुकारिक प्रेतादिक संगे। ओम हर 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 महादेव। सेवा जो कोई नर गावे, कहत शिवानंद स्वामी, कहत शिवानंद स्वामी, वांछित फल पावे। ओम हर 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 महादेव, 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 ओम हर 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 महादेव। महादेव भगवान की जय। आसन पर बैठे कर सोते इसकी सीधे। My orations, my frustrations, Matri Devo Bhava, Pita Devo Bhava, repeat the all mothers and all fathers on your dance, Acharya, Titi Devo Bhava, and the lotus and feet of all most reverend and senior Guru and Brahmachari, and all of you who came from far and near, all of those who are listening and all of those who are viewing, we say welcome as well. This evening, we're preparing to continue from where we left off last night. But before we do this, I want you to just take a minute and ask the person next to you, how are you? Take a minute, turn around, see who's behind you. Do me a favor, tell the person next to you where to dress up. Let us all bow our heads in prayer as we chant mantras of invocation. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Varnanam Sanganam Rasanam Chandrasamapi Mangalanam Chakari Taro Bande Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Bande Shraddha Vishwaswarupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Sarvamangala Mangali Shri Sarvart Satike Sharani Trambaki Gauri Narayani Namostute Sri Guru Charan Saroji Rajan Nij Man Mukur Suda Parnora Gobar Vimanayasha Jodaya Kapamechan Bodahina Tanujani Sumiro Pavan Kumar Bhagavata Vidya Vihu Mohi Arahu Karish Vikar Nase Rog Hari Sabakira Japat Nirankar Hanumat Veera संकट से हनुमान चुरावे मन कर्म वचन ध्यान जोड़ावे जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो शतवारी पाठ कर होई जो कहीं वंदी महासुख होई सियापति रामचंद्र जी की की जय शरणम। Let us all sing together. माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। ऋषियों की रिद्धि सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति मां, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति मां, तू मातों से भाग्य जगाती, बागी बागी आती है, इतना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। महाकाली दुर्गा, तू ही पार भवानी माँ, तू पुराने काल शारदा, तू वेदों की पानी माँ, तू बालक को बोल मिलकर जीवन गीत सुनाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार दुर्गे 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 जय जय माता की जय। हर हर जय शंकर ओम हर हर। I want to hear you, everybody. हर हर Jai Shankar. Om Hara Hara. Kamharupah Paniparaye Kiya Sariksha Rup Banaye Bhava Maharupah Di Majori Kahat Nivas Hari Mati Mohi Hara Hara Jai Shankar. Om Hara Hara. Hara Hara Jai Shankar. Om Hara Hara. Last night we listened to the beautiful epic of Sati Devi attending the yajna of her father uninvited. And Sati Devi, while inquiring of where she should sit and where her rightful position was, she was told she was not invited and no preparations was made for her. And so Sati Devi, out of hurt, out of shame, out of pain, out of agony, Sati Devi, she looked for the first available place to sit. And where will she sit? She sat in the fire. Sometimes you and I, we jump straight out of the pot thinking our situation is bad, and we jump directly into the fire. Nobody puts you there, you put yourself there. And only after you put yourself there, you recognize where I was a better spot than where I came. Sati Devi. She started to scream as the flame started to engulf her body, and so it summoned Lord Shiva's attention. When we feel pain and when we feel hurt and when we cry, Bhagwan listens. But isn't it strange? The only time you remember Bhagwan is when you feel pain. It is important for him to give you pain, or else you'll forget that he exists. It is important for him to give you sickness and trouble and trials and tribulations. Then you might say, how much more can I bear? Whatever is happening to you is not only happening to you, but it is happening as an example to those around you. Most of us, we're too blind to see. Most of us, we're too deaf to hear. Most of us, we're too ignorant to acknowledge what is happening. And so Sati Mata, her body engulfed in flames, Lord Shiva lifting her out of the Havan Kund, fragments of her body fell indifferent. Each fragment formed a roop, a form of the goddess. And last night we listened. That is the reason why we place that triangular baby close to the Havan Kund when we have yajna. She is called Trayambike Gauri, the Devi who is worshipped through the medium of the triangle. That's why when we plant the Jandi flag, the flag is always in the shape of, because whether which Devata or Devi you pray to, the Jandi is being planted into the earth, and the earth is called Mata, Devi. And that is the reason why it is that shape. Did you know that? Ask the person next to you, you know that? We have been putting Jandis all the time. Did you know that? And that is the reason why Sati Mata, having no existence, Lord Shiva made a vow that he will never get married. Last night I said, it is the little boy who says, I will never get married, meets a little girl who gets him very confused. She said to him, sit down, and he said, where? She said to him, come, and he said, I'm here. She said to him, don't eat, and he starves himself because he is in love. And that's where she learned that word from. Sati Devi, having no existence, Lord Shiva, going back to Mount Kailash, he makes a vow, I will never get married. The demonic forces know. I asked last night, does only good people pray? Only good people go to the temple. Hello?
No.
Only good people go to the temple?
No.
Do we only go there to pray?
No.
Oh God. Sati Mata, having no existence. Lord Shiva on Mount Kailash, making this vow, the demonic forces know that Lord Shiva has no wife. The demons begin to pray. And what they pray to? Narayana, Narayana, Jai Govinda Hari. Narayana, Sri Narayana, Jai Gopal Hari. They pray to Bhagavan Vishnu. They pray to Lord Brahma. They pray to the other manifestations. And what are they asking for? Bless us with a vardhan that we will only die at the hands of the children of Lord Shiva. Shiva, who has no wife, how will he have children? Not in 2024. That was in the day of the scripture. Shiva, Lord Shiva, he who is in deep meditation, Indradev, the god who sits on this throne governing the heavens, Indradev becomes very intimidated because he's afraid that somebody will steal away his throne. What is ours today was somebody else's own yesterday. And what is ours today will be somebody else's own tomorrow. I came from Trinidad to tell you, pull out your nice clothes from your wardrobe and start wearing it. I came from Trinidad to tell you, pull out your nice pot you have hiding under your bed and start cooking in it. I came from Trinidad to tell you, stop saving for tomorrow and next year and next month and whenever and however, because however and whenever may never come. I came from Trinidad to tell you, you're hungry, eat. I brought somebody who is an example of that. I came from Trinidad to tell you that when the desire and the need comes to say something, say it and get it off your chest. I came from Trinidad to remind you that time is running out faster than you can imagine. I came to remind you that the only way that you'll ever enjoy your existence is when you learn to focus on yourself and nobody else. The Devatas go, and who they go to? Kamadev, the god of love. And going to Kamadev, the god of love, they say, you must do something. Sati Devi has taken her manifestation as the Putri, the daughter of Himavan Tanmena. She is down on the mountain top. And last night we sang, Suno mere Devi, Parvat Vasini, Tera Paran Paya, Tera Paran Paya. Suno mere Devi, Parvat Vasini, Tera Paran Paya, Tera Paran Paya. She's on the mountain top. She's the daughter of Himavan Tanmena. But every living moment of her life, she's chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Her every breath songs the name of Lord Shiva. And so her name is no longer Sati, her name is Parvati, meaning that she's the daughter of the king who governs the Parvat, the mountain, Himavan. Himavan, having this daughter Parvati, hearing and seeing the love that Parvati Mata has for Lord Shiva, he has no clue what Lord Shiva looks like. He just knows that his daughter loves Lord Shiva. You and I look at all of these murtis all the time, but yet we have no clue if God really looks like that. And while we stand in front of the murti and we wave the arti, in reality, if Mother Durga were to walk in here right now, sitting on that land, you who did the arti would be the first one to run. because you'll be afraid of the lion, isn't it? In our home, we have a huge murti of Lord Shiva. And one day I went to do the aarti and I saw that the snake was covered with a kanhar, the shawl. And I looked at my aunt and I said, every day I'm uncovering the snake and every day I go, it is covered back. And she said, you better leave it covered. And I said, why? She said, when I go there I get frightened when I see that snake. She said, I'm wondering if Lord Shiva moving it himself or what is happening. And I say to you, oh foolish aunt, long ago the snake was something you'll be afraid of. In today's world, the snake is safer than many of the people that we meet. For they are more vicious and venomous than even snakes. Long ago, the snake will attack you and you'll die. In the world that we live in, because of the envy and the greed and the hate that people have for each other, that is what will destroy you. And sometimes that is what destroys us. Because sometimes hate is built up in such a way that it doesn't even face the person that you dislike. It causes more damage to you. And so Sati Mata, having the name Parvati, living on the mountain top, chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Kamadev, the god of love, he has fulfilled his purpose. And Kamadev, he has physically died. But Kamadev, love cannot be seen, but love can be felt. It is an emotion that can be felt. And so being given that Vardhan by Lord Shiva himself, it says Kamadev has fulfilled his purpose. Tonight I want to ask you, what is your purpose? I want you to do me a favor. Take your elbow and hunch the person next to you. Hey, what's your purpose? Ask them. Life was not made to eat, drink, make merry, and when dead. Life was made to fulfill the purpose for which Bhagwan created us. We were all created for a purpose. We ought to find that purpose and fulfill that before we leave. And if perchance you leave without fulfilling that purpose, you'll have to come back and come back and come back and come back and come back. And every time you come back, you're going to meet more trouble than you left before. And so, Kamadev, he has fulfilled his purpose, and Kamadev is no more. He cannot be seen, but he can be felt. Tonight I want to tell you, a day will come when we will no longer be seen. Have you given thought to that? I don't know about you. I already print a nice picture of myself and put it up on the wall. I am not waiting until I'm there. I don't know about you. I already choose the picture that I want to put up on the wall. And you should do the same. Because sometimes, even when you die, it is difficult to find a picture. Do you know? Do you know? I want to tell you, everybody in 2024 has a cell phone. And the cell phone is their best friend. The cell phone is the next thing to God to them. So in your free time, take a little picture, a little selfie. Anytime you dress up and looking nice, take a picture. Take a reminder. And so, Parvati Mata, she has requested from her father, I want to become married and I want Lord Shiva to be my husband. And so making this request, what will happen? Sing with me together, everybody. आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिवाजी की मंदिर में शिवाजी के मंदिर में आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिवाजी के मंदिर में आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिवाजी के मंदिर में शिवाजी की मंदिर शिवाजी की मंदिर शिवाजी की मंदिर में आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिवाजी की मंदिर में आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिवाजी की मंदिर में श्री परमात्मने नमः हम आपके निवास करने वाले भी उसको का सभी देवता का अमृत क्या पार करने ही देखो क्या अमृतवान का रूप करने वाले देव मेना और हिमावन का कभी भगवान शंकर निर्धन देखते उसने कहा करने वाले उसने कहा करने श्री परमात्मने नमः. Great festivities is taking place. And so all of the devatas, they were invited, and all of the mortals, they were invited. And what they were invited to do, they were invited to witness the Vivah. What is a Vivah? Have you ever heard Vivah? What is a Vivah? To witness the marriage of Lord Shiva to Mata Parvati. Listen to this very important thing that is being said in the Katha. The devatas and the mortals were invited. Listen to who first? The devatas and then the mortals. We are the mortal beings, the beings who live on the earth. We were born, and that which is born must die. But the devatas, they have eternal life, and so they were invited first. When we have the yajna, when we have the puja, when we are preparing for a wedding, God first, all the time. Before you give an invitation card to any being, you're supposed to invite God first. Do you know that? You're supposed to offer that card to Bhagwan first and say, here I am inviting you, Bhagwan. You are my first guest. Please come. And if you do that, then everything becomes smooth sailing. Long ago, to invite Bhagwan and to make sure that everybody got the Ashirvad, you'll put some yellow rice on the card. It says, all of the beings, they were invited. And so they were all very beautifully dressed. And they were all making their way to the home of Hemavant and Meena. How do you react when you get invited to a wedding? Husbands become very frustrated. You'll swear that your wife is the bride. Thursday, she has to do her nails. Friday, she has to do her hair. After she do her hair and her nails, no roti again. And she can't sleep lying down. She has to sleep on the couch sitting down because she can't spoil her hair. And Sunday morning, somebody has to put on the makeup. It's a whole production that happens. It says all the beings, they were making their way. But up until this time, Meena and Hemavant, they never saw Lord Shiva or knew what he looked like. Can you remember the first time you were introducing your husband to your mother and father? Especially if you were boyfriend and girlfriend before. The olden days, nobody was allowed to be boyfriend and girlfriend before marriage. You remember that? In the olden days, you didn't get a choice or a chance to choose. The choice was made for you. Can you remember that? You have to be old like me. In Trinidad, and I'm sure in Guyana, when you listen to some of the stories of our old folk, you sit down and you laugh. You can't believe what they're saying. One old lady looked at me and she said, Baba, we married for 80 years now. But if I tell you, I was little. And when I peep through the board and I see this black boy, she said, I get frightened. She said, Baba, all I'm thinking about, I wonder if I could sandpaper him. She said, but though he was dark, he was a gentleman. It is better to be dark and considered to be ugly on the outside, but to be pure and divine on the inside. Because we live in a world among many people who are very beautiful outside. But their actions doesn't match that beauty. Don't answer and don't acknowledge. Let me get in trouble alone, I'm going back to Trinidad. Parvati Mata, she's excited. But as they begin to come, the Bharat is coming. What is the Bharat? The Bharat means the groom is coming to the home of the bride. And as the Bharat is coming, it says what will happen. Maina Devi, she's proud to know that her daughter is getting married to Jagat Pita. Hey Jagat Pita Bhagavan, हमें तो ज्ञान तू ईश्वर प्यारा, दुनिया में सहारा। हे जगत पिता भगवान, हमें तो ज्ञान तू ईश्वर प्यारा, दुनिया में सहारा। This is part of his aspiration. And her daughter is getting married to the part of exaggeration. You see, we live in a world among mothers who want to find a good boy for their daughter. But is your daughter a good child? We live in a world among mothers who want to find a good match for their child. But are you going to find somebody else who has a good child and put them with your bad child? The child that you never took to the temple, the child that you never taught to pray, the child that you never instilled morals and values and ethics in, the child that you never taught how to help themselves. We live in a world among many people who are very, very, very educated. But anything you ask them, they have to Google it. And they have to YouTube it. Because they can't think on their own. They can't save themselves on their own. You see when he sneezes? Because I'm telling you the truth. I came from the culture. You see where's the wash? Wash it. I came from the culture. I was taught by my grandmother when I was only 12 years old. I got a birthday gift. You know what I got? A heater. She said when you were born, God gave you 2 hands. You need to start ironing your own clothes. That didn't mean she don't love me. That means that they will come and she will not be there and I'll be able to help myself. I came from the home where we were taught, I'm cooking, stand up and watch what I'm doing. So you will know. I came from a home where we were taught that you don't like anybody to take advantage of you. So do not take advantage of anybody. I came from a home where we were taught that if you can't tickle somebody to make them laugh, don't tickle them to make them cry. I want you to remember that. If you can't tickle somebody to make them happy and laugh, don't tickle them to make them cry. And so, when Maina Devi went out and Maina Devi saw Lord Shiva, you know what happened? Maina Devi faded away. She fell down to the ground. And she was so disappointed with what she was seeing that she did not know how to react. Out of shame, she fainted. Sometimes when you look at the actions of children, you wonder, is that really my child? My brother said to me all the time, you real different boy. You really fall hard from that coconut tree. He said that to me all the time. And the sad reality is, we can't all be the same. In the world, we can't all like the same things. In the world that we live in, the choice is yours. But whenever the choice stands in front of you, remember, though there is a choice, be careful when you choose, because you are never free from the consequences that follow your choices. Always remember that. And And so Parvati Mata, telepathy, through her thought she begins to talk to Lord Shiva. In thought she is speaking to Lord Shiva. You don't have to stand and rattle a million mantras to Bhagavan. You don't have to stand and talk to him in Hindi or Spanish or any other language. You stand up and talk to him the way you know to talk. And God will understand that. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? I said before I came, in one of my recordings that Auntie listened to, I said, when the Pandit is chanting the mantra, though you know the mantra, your job is not to chant the mantra. Your job is to chant the mantra that you know, your Guru mantra. And while the puja is happening and you chant your Guru mantra, indirectly you're making that mantra into a bij. Bij means a shield. You're planting the seed that will now bring forth the fruits that will protect you in your time of trouble and despair and agony and pain and discomfort. But when last you chanted your Guru mantra? When last did you pray chanting your Guru mantra? Our aunties just chanted the Shiva Manas Stotra. Manas means that in your mind you're offering Ratme kalpita masanam himachale snanam cha divyam balam Nanaratna vibhushitam mrigamara modangitam chandanam. I'm bathing you. I'm offering to you chandan. Jake champaka belva patra rachitam. I'm offering to you the veil. And in your mind hearing, mentally you're making the offerings to Lord Shiva. Mentally in your mind. You see, it has to begin in your mind first. And once positivity enters into your mind, your whole life becomes positive. Do you believe that? You sit down and you say, I'm sick. I'm sick. You all know how I'm sick. When I don't hear you, I too get sick. Huh? When you don't tell how sick you are, the people you tell them get sick too. Because that's the energy that you have, that you're carrying. We must always try to be positive. We must always try to speak positively. And so Lord Shiva, Parvati Mata, telepathy, she spoke to him in thought. And she says, oh Lord Shiva, you are scaring everybody. Instead of sitting facing forward and unbelievable, he is sitting facing backwards. Instead of having the puggree and looking like a groom, he has the ashes of Kamadev all over his body. And he is wearing a tiger skin and Rudraksha mala and holding in his hand a Trishul. Imagine your daughter going to get married and you never saw the boy. And somebody like that show up in the wedding. What will you do? What will you do? And you have on this big disco dunya outfit that you buy online from shadi.com. And the Dulaha show up in this tiger skin. And what will you do? What will you do? Parvati Mata is saying, please change your route. Change that appearance. I want to tell you, it is imperative, it is important for all of us to change. Every single day that goes by, a new change should happen in us and within us. And we are supposed to guide ourselves onto the pathway of becoming better beings. It says, Parvati Mata, with telepathy speaking to Lord Shiva. What will happen? Listen, it tells us. Hara Hara Jai Shankar Om Hara 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 Jai Shankar Om Hara Hara कह बेबो आप दोनी कह देख शारी का तब माता पार्वती कह रूपा सिंह हर हर जय शंकर ओम हर 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 जय शंकर ओम हर हर one more time everybody हर हर जय शंकर ओम हर हर. It says the Vivah happened and so Meena Devi and Himavan, when Meena Devi got up, she saw this most charming groom, and you know what happened? He was fanning her. When she opened her eyes and she looked at him, she's asking, who are you? And he says, I'm the groom. And she said, but the groom? You look different. Were you the same one who was sitting up on the Nandi? And she says, yes, it was. He says, it was me. And so Meena Devi said, but you're looking different. He said, yes, you got delirious and you fainted. You see, we live in a world where many people try to make us feel we're delirious. We didn't hear what we hear, and we didn't see what we see, and we didn't observe what we observe. And they try to make us feel like we are. You'll ever see this before? What does this mean? They like to make you feel like you. I never say that. And the way they tell you, you are not thinking you're crazy. You're not wondering, did I really hear that? Huh? That's why when there is a meeting, they have minutes. They write it down. But you know where that philosophy of having minutes in a meeting came from? It came from the Guru Puran. Because sitting on your shoulders, they're Chitra and Gupta. And Chitra and Gupta, every breathing moment of your life, Chitra and Gupta, they're writing down everything. Everything you see, everything you say, everything you think, they're writing it down. And a day will come when your soul stands in front of Bhagwan. And you know, when that day comes, Bhagwan is saying, Tere karam kahani, tere atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Tell me, you saw this, tell me. And then you know how we are. We say, I never see that. And Chitra and Gupta pull out the record and they say, well, look, it is written here. You saw this. And then we say, not me, you mix up somebody else. And then they call Chandra, the moon. If the moon was present. And then if the moon wasn't there, they called Surya, the sun. And if Surya wasn't present, they called Tara, the stars. And if the stars wasn't present, then they called some animal or some plant or some other being who might have been there. But you see, we always could justify everything all the time. You know anybody who always right? You know anybody, a person who is always right all the time? You know, there was this husband and wife, and they just got married. And the wife says there is only one condition. There are two rules. And the husband said, what are they? You know, they now got married, so he is in love. So anything. She says rule number 1 is I am always right. And rule number 2 is when you think I'm wrong, check rule number 1. I'm still right. Mata Parvati and Lord Shiva, they become wedded, they become married. But as both of them, they become married, and this union is met, Lord Shiva takes Mata Parvati to his abode. And now I am seated on this parvat, on this mountain top. Mata Parvati, she begins to observe Lord Shiva. But you know when she's observing? Only after the wedding, she's observing. You see, when you're courting and when you're dating and when you're called the fiancé, you all ever hear that word? Huh? Fiancé? Navin never hear that word before. You don't think about anything, eh? Anything is anything. But you see, after the marriage, Go brush your teeth now. After the marriage, oh God, go wrong now. After the marriage, oh God, stop talking now. But before the marriage, whole day and whole night, all I'm thinking about is you. I sit down to eat and I see your reflection in the dal. The two pieces of Bengali floating in here and I see your eye inside of them. You see, I lie down on my bed and when I look up at the ceiling, I see you, Dodo. After the marriage, you say, oh God, give me a break. Isn't it? After the marriage, you have to make an appointment to talk. After the marriage, in the middle of the conversation, you hear him. You don't know if he hear, they didn't hear, you don't know what went on. It says Mata Parvati. She now begins to observe. And as Mata Parvati begins to observe, she's seeing something that catches her attention. She's seeing the mala that Lord Shiva is wearing. What kind of mala does Lord Shiva wear? What kind of mala does Lord Shiva wear? Look at the murti of Lord Shiva. What are you seeing as the mala? You see, you're not seeing the mala there because that murti doesn't have it. Listen to what it says in the Akti. Achmala banmala mundamala dhari Shiva mundamala dhari Chandan mriga marsohi Chandan mriga marsohi Bani shashidhari Om Har 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 Mahare. Lord Shiva is wearing Munda Mala. Munda means the head. He is wearing the mala of skulls. So Parvati Devi seeing this mala of skulls, Parvati Mata, she is now inquiring. What does this mala symbolize, O Lord Shiva? She's asking him. Ever saw your husband with something and you say, hey, where you get that? Ever saw your wife with something and you say, hey, where you get that? Huh? Have you ever observed and said? One of the vows in the marriage says, if ever you are to lend, borrow, give, or whatever you receive, it ought to be discussed with me first before it is done. I am to be made aware of this. But you see, when you sit down in the marrow, you're in love. So you even know what the Baba saying. The lady who come to the wedding, watch the Baba and she says, Baba na hali hali vidya bijao jiyao muriyanganaho. Hali hali. Quick, quick, do this thing. Do it like you started home because we really want to hear you. We want to go, we have reception and different section and what is important is made into a show, a grand show. And you sit down there and you're confused, you don't know nothing happening. Nothing that is happening. It says, Parvati Mata, she's asking, what is this mala about? And Lord Shiva says, I cannot tell you. And Sati Devi says, well, I want to know. Tell me. And Lord Shiva says, I refuse to tell you. And Sati Mata says, well, I insist you must tell me. Why? You ever insist your husband answer? How do you react when your children don't answer when you speak with them? Let me ask an easier question. How do you react when your husband don't answer when you ask him something? Parvati Mata asking like this, Lord Shiva wonders. what will I tell her? I want to tell her, but I don't want to cause hurt to her. You ever have to say something to somebody, but you don't want to hurt them? And you just don't know how to tell them because you're afraid that they will get vexed. Well, I want to tell you, whether you tell them or not, chances are they will still get vexed with you. Because that's the world that we live in. Sati, who is now Parvati, she's inquiring. And Lord Shiva says, well, every one of these skulls on my mala, they're your skulls. And in every kalp, every manifestation that you took, you died. And so I kept this skull close to my heart to remember you. She said, me? All this time? And what were my names all of these times? You see, you and I think that we are now existing, but in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to us, we did this very same thing in our last janma. We're doing the very same thing in this janma. And until you don't learn the lessons, we'll have to do it again and again and again. Do you know what Goswami Tulsidas writes in the Ramayana? Listen to what he says. Bari bhagya manush tanu pava Sud dudlab sab bant lagawa Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Bari bhagya. We all blessed have the human existence. Even the devatas in the heavens wish that they could have our existence. But what do we do with the existence that we have? Do we use this existence to enrich ourselves? Or do we use this existence to create more trouble for our Atma, our soul? It says you were given the existence. Do you know do what? Do one thing. Sadhan Dhamma Moksha Kare Dvara Pai na Jai Paralok Savara Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama. We were given the birth to do one thing, to plan for moksha. What is moksha? What is moksha? What is liberation? What is liberation? Free from birth and death. What helps us to become free from birth and death? Working out your karma by doing good. What is good? That is Baba's version. What is your version? You see, believing is what we practice. Believing is what we practice. Because if we believe, love all and serve all, there'll be no room to hate anybody or anything. If we believe in peace over, then if we believe in thinking before you talk, then most of the time you remain quiet, isn't it? But you see, there is a difference between what we believe and what we practice, because we don't always support what we believe through our practices. Is that true? That's where the proverb comes. Closest to the building, but furthest from Bhagwan, God. It says, Parvati Mata, hearing this, she looks at Lord Shiva and she says, oh Lord Shiva, I am begging you, I do not want to die. I do not want to die. Please, I don't want to die. Anybody here want to die? Anybody? Let me change that question. Let me change that question. Anybody here afraid to die? Let me answer first. Is a man who say not me and just stand by them and they start erupting quick. Because we are all afraid of that. Whether how prepared you say you are, none of us really want to die. I want to see the children get married, Baba, and anything could happen after. I want to see the grandchildren, Baba, and anything could happen after. I want to see the grandchildren go college, Baba, and anything could happen after. Baba, I want to see the grandchildren married, and then anything could happen after. Baba, I wish I could see my great-grandchildren, and then I could close my eye. Baba, I want to see the great-grandchildren go to school and become better than their parents. Huh? And there is always a desire. There is always a wish. It says, Parvati Mata, she says to Lord Shiva, I do not want to die. And Lord Shiva says, well, there is a katha I can tell you that will create immortality. I will tell you the katha. But first, we must find a place to tell the katha when nobody will hear. If you have to tell a secret when nobody will hear, where will you go? Hello? If you have to tell a secret in a place where nobody will hear, where will you go?
Cemetery.
Where will you go? There is a proverb that says even the wall have ears. Huh? Even the wall could hear you. So you can't even hide behind the wall. Because Bhagwan is always listening. He's always hearing. He's always vigilant. It says Parvati Mata. Lord Shiva says we must find this place. And so who is someone? There's someone Nandi, the bull. Nandi, you go and find a place where you can tell the katha when nobody will hear. And Nandi finds a cave. Finding this cave, Nandi says the cave is empty. Lord Shiva uses his drishti, flame from his third eye, and he burns the cave. And he and Mata Parvati goes and they sit inside of there. And he begins to tell the katha. Husband and wife, it is imperative for both of you to sit and talk to each other. A relationship that has good communication is a relationship that will last for a long, long time. But the minute you start to talk and everything is an argument and a quarrel and a fight and a frustration and an aggravation, then you know what happened? It is a recipe for disaster. One person has to listen while the other is speaking. That's how it is. The first year of the marriage, husband listens to the wife. Second year, wife listens to the husband. Third year, neighbor listening to husband and wife. Because the talk no longer remains quiet and contained, it now becomes volcanic. Parvati Mata. She sits in a cave and she's told the Amar Katha, the Katha of immortality. Anybody here wants to live forever? Anybody here wants to live forever?
The soul lives forever. The soul never dies. The body lives.
But auntie, you just tell me you wouldn't get mukti. It says, Sati. One of those skulls belong to Sati Mata. And Parvati Mata doesn't want her skull there. So Parvati Mata, what she does? Parvati Mata, she listens to the katha. But after listening to the katha, they go to Mount Kailash. Shiva Kailasho ki basi Dori Daro ki raja Shankar Sankat Halena